Okay, so we now come to how we're going to heat our property. Is it going to be radiators or underfloor heating? Pretty much underfloor heating is well known within the industry. It's becoming very popular now. Where we normally want the heat is where we are, which is at the floor, a warm floor. If we were to look how underfloor heating was to work through a thermal image camera when the underfloor heating's on, we would see probably the first metre off the floor is red, and then it gets orange, and the closer we get to the ceiling it becomes blue. What we find with radiators, it's radiated and convected, and heat rises, so that heat goes straight up from the radiator, and we'd see the opposite through a thermal image camera with a radiator system. We'd actually see the red band under the ceiling, then orange, and getting colder as it comes to the floor. So it's the wrong way for where we need, because we live on the floor. So underfloor heating is already well known as being a good method of heating homes, and especially for heat pumps. Heat pumps produce low energy. A heat pump was really working very comfortably, 45 to 50 degrees C. Underfloor heating, 45 degrees C, so it can work very well within those parameters. Radiators for fossil fuel boilers are normally sized to be working at 77 to 80 degrees C temperatures. So off a heat pump, it's got a lot of work to do when heating through radiators. Underfloor heating is therefore perfect. And of course it will also work with biomass systems, because we have a blending valve on the manifold, and as we can see here we have a manifold system which is operating our underfloor off of our heat pump. We have a circulating pump and we have our tubing. And there's an example there through that clear screen of how this pipe work is distributed through the floor. So we have an insulation barrier on the floor, our pipe is laid on top of the insulation, and then we have a concrete screed, and you can carpet over the floor or you can install a wood floor over the top. And that is how we install underfloor heating within our homes. Okay, so we've seen a section of the underfloor heating in a concrete slab floor area which was being fed from the heat pump. We now have a situation which is a mirror image of what we saw before, but this is in a wooden floor. So we're not having concrete over this underfloor heating. What we have is a reflective insulation under the pipe, and then the wood floor is laid on top. So that reflective insulation is going to push the heat upwards. This underfloor heating in this part of the area is fed from the biomass boiler and not the heat pump. So here we have our manifold system, we have our pipe work being distributed through our wooden floor. We have flow pipe, we have a flow manifold and a return manifold, and we could be producing high temperature from the biomass in excess of 45 degrees C. We don't want to overheat the floor. We could cause problems with the wood. It could store cracking and swelling, contraction and expansion. So we want to keep that underfloor heating 45 degrees or below. So if we're producing high temperature from the biomass boiler, then this blending valve is going to blend it down, and it's going to circulate water through that underfloor at a maximum of 45 degrees C.